What's going on, everybody? Coach Mike here with Technique Tuesday. We're looking at the second phase of the snatch. So if you didn't check out my first video, make sure you click on the link. I'm going to post it up here in the corner. But go back, watch that video. It's the starting position, first phase of the snatch, and different variations of the snatch exercise, right? So to recap real quick, the first position of the snatch is from the floor to the knees, okay? What we are looking at within that first phase is maintaining position. So maintaining our position over the bar, maintaining balance through the whole foot, and gaining momentum into the second phase of the lift, and ultimately into the snatch overall, right? So today, the second phase of the snatch, and again, if you're new to my videos, I don't call them pulls. I don't call it first pull, second pull, etc. Because in my experience, when you tell athletes the first pull, they want to pull off the floor and they're not actually pushing with their legs. So I just call it first phase, second phase, nice and easy, clear nomenclature, right? So today we're covering the second phase of the snatch. So this is going to be from the knees into extension, all right? So all the way through the hips into that extension point. I'm going to cover a few common faults with the second phase, and then a few cues and corrections, and then some drills at the end to fix some of those common faults, all right? So essentially, you can think of the second phase as a hang position, right? So we're starting from the knees, and we're going into full extension. Now, the trick here with the second phase of the snatch is this is when people typically want to start rushing under the bar, okay? This is when, coaches that say jump or move your feet or whatever, this is when athletes tend to short extension just to move the feet or do whatever they're being told, but they're not actually let their feet move or letting the explosiveness come by product of the extension that they're putting into the bar, right? So we need to be careful when cueing our athletes. Yes, we want them to jump under the bar. Yes, we want them to move their feet for the most efficient for the movement. However, we need to be very careful on how we cue them. I've seen a lot of athletes where you tell them jump or the coach says jump, and they start doing the donkey kick thing as a new lift. We do not want them to jump or move their feet just for the sake of doing it because you think you're supposed to for the movement. What's really happening with the feet is you are pushing with so much force into that barbell that your feet that bar should naturally pull you up, and then you, as you pull under, which I'll get into in the next video, into that third phase and turnover, you're snapping yourself under that bar, and that's why your feet are moving. It's not moving just to move. It's moving as a byproduct of the explosiveness you're putting into that bar. All right? So last video, we established starting position. Not going to go through that again today. We established that first phase, so from the floor to the knees. All right? So when we are in the knee position, when we're at the knees, we should already be starting to pull our chest back. We're keeping that bar pulled back with our nice tight back position. We should be actively pulling that bar back from the knees, and we're starting to pull that chest up so we can get out of the way of the bar, following that nice vertical bar path we're looking for. If you're staying over too long, you're going to end up yanking into your hips and looping out and around, right? It's very hard to correct that once you get into that position. So we're looking for that knee position. I'm still slightly over the bar, but as I'm doing this position, I'm getting my knees forward because I already pulled them back to keep that bar in the first phase. I pulled my knees back. Now I'm going to start pushing those knees forward, getting my chest back and out of the way into the hips. And I know you can't see here. I'll come up here. My feet are still flat. My feet are still pushing this whole time. So I clear the ground. I'm pushing my knees back forward. My feet are flat. My chest is nice and tall. I'm in that power position we established in the previous video. So I'm in that power position. From here, I'm still finishing with the legs, right? My arms are still long here. I'm finishing with those legs. I'm finally getting into that extension, and then I drop and turn over the bar, okay? The biggest fault, like I've been saying, with the rushing under the bar is people are going to want to extend too early. They're going to get on their toes too early. They're going to be about here, and they're going to start getting on their toes already. We need to stay flat foot. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Okay, I can't push anymore. Now the toes come up. Now I move. All right? We need to be very conscientious of that because once our feet come into extension, we're not pushing anymore. Once we stop pushing, that's where our power stops. Okay, now we're relying on the momentum of the bar, the power we put into the bar already, once we stop pushing. So we need to be pushing as long as we possibly can until the very last minute when that momentum pulls us up into extension, and then we're able to get underneath that bar. All right? So, common cues, common fixes for that, mostly for the extension problem, is no feet snatches, okay? So no feet snatches are exactly what they sound like. You could do hang snatches, power position snatches, etc. But it's doing the movement without moving your feet or extending your feet. So you're really focusing on pushing, finishing that push, and pulling back underneath the bar, or just doing no feet pulls, where you're really emphasizing that extension and then into that pull. So, but basically the no feet component of it makes you keep pushing through the floor and then stay in position into the hips and use that position to feel the momentum of the bar. It also works with timing. So it also helps with timing of the lift, but we're not getting into that right now. We're mostly looking at the no feet snatch to help reinforce that foot staying flat as we push through the floor until we can't anymore. Right? So, again, with the snatch, with the second phase, all right, we're looking at from the knees. So we're here, nice locked in. I'm going to pop, 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 pop into my extension. All right, nice and easy. I'm in position. I'm pulling that chest back, pushing the knees forward. Feet are staying flat. I hit that power position, hit those hips, and then I'm there, right? We're going to go over the turnover in the next video. As always, I've been Coach Mike. This is Strength Coach Talks, technique video, or Technique Tuesdays, whatever we're calling them now. I don't know. I'm still working on all that stuff, being the YouTuber and whatnot. But if you like this video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you share it with anybody who's working with the snatch, whether that's a coach, athlete, yourself. Share it with friends, family, whatever. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment. What are some other cues, corrections, technique primers that you use for the second phase of the snatch? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.